Now, we begin.
Have you ever wondered how I make pro level players absolutely despise their lives all the time?
What the What? Bro, he just 100 to 0'd me under tower with these two items. Wait, what?
Yes, I did, Revenge. Thank you very much. Now, part of that is my champion is pretty annoying. But part of that is also that I systematically destroy my opponents in lane using very precise tentacle setups. Don't mind the forfeit vote for my team in this 1v4, but if you like this kind of stuff, if you like challenger plays, Illaoi, guides, entertainment, be sure to subscribe to my channel. Now, let's get started with some Illaoi Tentacle Guide. Before we get into how to position our tentacles, we need to understand how to protect our tentacles, okay? We're not going to use condoms, but we are going to use a aggressive movement commands to communicate to our enemy laner that we are protecting this tentacle with our life, right? This tentacle I want to keep alive because I'm going to use the stored tentacle to move up my tentacle line and get a very aggressive stance going forward. Here's another clip where I don't just give up my tentacle, right? I protect it. I want to make sure that this tentacle next to me stays alive. Because the tentacle I've stored, I want to place connecting to this tentacle so I can poke with E, I can wave clear really quickly, I can get this Olaf under his turret where I can move up my tentacle line even more. And under his turret, I will force him to go for CS and have to dodge my E's. If I hit an E, he's doomed. He's going to lose half a wave at least and take a lot of damage. One more caveat is playing around walls. Specifically versus melee champions, this is a really good way of leveling the playing field. Walls act as a good barrier, preventing the amount of room that an enemy has to sidestep. So here I'm going to back this Udyr between the two tentacles on my left. So now he has to decide, do I want to try to auto attack him down to death or eat all the tentacle slams? He makes the wrong choice. Now let's look at how to place our tentacles. And we're going to look at the blue side perspective versus the red side perspective because they're slightly different depending on which side of the map you're on. Once we're finished with tentacle placements in lane, I'll dissect this very fun technique I call the dive. It's how I get a lot of easy kills under turret, and it's how I killed Revenge earlier, so be sure to stick around. At the start of the game, I put a couple tentacles down. On blue side, it's pretty straightforward. One on the left, one on the right, anywhere around where you see on the screen. The first purpose for them is to get CS under my turret. I like to let the wave crash into me like this because it eliminates the risk of being jungle ganged, which a level 3 Illaoi is pretty much dead meat. I'll have to flash, it's not going to be pretty. The other purpose for these tentacles is that they let me trade under turret with really safe ease. So here I land an E on a very hard lane Azir, and the turret aggroes onto the spirit. I can get trades off of tentacles to regenerate some health, and it's just hard for enemies to really take out the tentacles if they're this close to your turret. Let's get a bird's eye view of what we're trying to do. We already placed tentacles 1 and 2. Our defensive stance is going to be completed by placing tentacle 3 and 4. Tentacle 3 is one of my favorites. I just love playing on these corners. They make for great angles. They're really good for clearing the wave, and they're easily defendable. This makes up our defensive stance. Once we have this set up, we can move out into a more balanced stance where we have 5, 6, and 7 tentacles. And typically levels 1 through 5, I try to be either in the defensive or balanced stance. I really don't like to be aggressive because Illaoi just can't 1v2 early on before level 6. Once we are level 6, we're going to add on tentacles 8 and 9. These are going to complete the aggressive stance, and we're going to really get on top of that top laner, throw E's at him constantly, make it a pain for him to see us under turret, and bait the enemy jungler to come up so we can 1v2. This clip is a good example of the river tentacles that I really like. The one on the right's kind of lower than I prefer. I'd rather it be farther up, but for right now it'll do because I'm not trying to be an aggressive stance. I really want to be in the balanced stance. And you notice how easily these tentacles allow me to trade with Mordekaiser. One thing about Illaoi is you always want to try to fight between at least 2 tentacles. Here, I'm caught being greedy for turret plates by Silas Jungle. But because I had the presence of mind to move between these 2 tentacles, stay calm, and get healed, I come out alive. In this clip, we get a good look of what the aggressive stance looks like on blue side. Notice the 2 tentacles on the left are very easy to defend. They provide great wave clear, and I can store this tentacle up that I have for when he does kill the tentacles under the turret, I can quickly replace them and get to work. The reason I love these 2 tentacles specifically on blue side is your ability to land E's just outside of turret range and easily clear minions. So I already landed 1 E between 2 tentacles, as always. I'm now able to wave clear very effectively under 2 tentacles. And now it's just about focusing on him. How to get him to miss CS. He's going to walk back, just land your E. Easy as cake. Congrats if you've made it this far. Here's a quick little 1v2 outplay just because. Congratulations. All right, let's move on to the red side now. Ooh. Red side has one caveat, which is the tri-bush tentacle. This is what I use to know if an enemy is in the tri-bush when I go to leash for the jungler. We'll also put this tentacle on the corner near our turret to help us CS later. Now, when we leash for the jungler, bad enemy top laners will kill the tentacle. This isn't good for them. This just tells me they're there. Like, what? Stop doing this. Literally, I'm telling you, don't do this. Okay? Now, I do alert my jungler. Hey, Rengar, you want a free kill, kitty? Kitty, come here. All right. Bam. Rengar's coming over. I baited you a little too long, Kled. We're going to get the bush jump, into an easy kill. So that's why we put that tri-bush. It's to avoid cheese, or at least know when cheese is happening. On red side, we have our defensive stance, which these 2 tentacles are on the outer edge of. But I want to show this video because it's going to show you why it's so important to have all our wards set up. I take a pretty bad trade with Kled, but I back into 2 tentacles, throw the E, and we're going to salvage this trade somehow. Versus a very aggressive Kled, even still very aggressive. But you see these 4 tentacles. This is a good look of what you should expect to have in a defensive red side stance. Now, the red side bird's eye view is a lot like a mirror of the blue side. There are a couple differences though. So we put our first tentacle down in the tri-bush, second up near the turret. We walk back to lane, put the third one near our turret again, and we just start moving out. 4th one goes on the corner, 5th one connects on the outside wall. That's our defensive stance. We move out our tentacles into a balanced stance, and the more fun part is the aggressive stance. So I like to use this corner, the tentacle down below, and a tentacle across the wall to make a nice little triangle. And I'm going to show you why this triangle works really effectively at punishing the enemy. Remember that tip, playing around walls? These tentacles are a great spot to utilize that technique. Now, they also make for great wave clear. The angles are just lovely. And if a jungler were to come up behind me and gank me, that's where I want to be. I'll place this tentacle here, and well-timed E during the teleport means I get to punish. Finally, this is what it should look like when you have it all set up. The aggressive red side stance. And you're about to see why. Okay. Whew. I'm sorry, I gotta calm down. Oh, that was nice. Okay. And we finished the red side. So, for being such a great audience, here are a couple of nice kills. And my personal favorite technique, my little bonus for the video, is the dive. This is the clip of Illaoi I showed earlier. I'm going to walk you through how I do this time and time again to just really tick people off. So I store a tentacle and I place it directly on the turret. Now, Aurelia's, they can't stand this. You're disrespecting me on my turret? Not today, Nagake Boros, bearded lady. Oh, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna throw my E expecting her aggression. If she ults or Qs anywhere near me, she will instantly die to E ult. So let's see what happens. Uh-oh. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, no, no. Aurelia, you can't do that, sweetheart. Oof. To build on top of this technique, we can combo it with the enemy teleport. This makes for an easy E land, and if they go in, ult and then a kill. Now, if they're smart, they will actually just run away. I'll tank probably 2 turret shots, and it'll hurt, but typically they'll make a mistake and die. To build on top of this, if you have stopwatch, you can use that too. Make sure to E, ult, and W before you stopwatch though, to get that extra slam. Oh, so many tentacles. Oh, that shouldn't. Ooh, I'm not sure if that's allowed on YouTube. Oh, okay. And just to recap, we talked about stancing, tentacle placement, and the dive. I appreciate you for watching this far. Be sure to check me out on Twitch TV, where I stream daily, and I'll see you next time.